So I was shuffling the cards earlier, and this first one fell out, and this is basically the overall energy and the situation. Okay, so this is the Hierophant in reverse. So this is the basically it's sort of like equivalent to the crowning energy, and in this situation it denotes, order, discipline, and tradition. And with it coming up in reverse, I feel that there is a tug of war between you. I know with a lot of Capricorn, having a very structured lifestyle is brings you a lot of emotional comfort. So depending on the placement of the other planets in your astrology chart, I feel that in general, most Capricorns thrive in an environment where there's order, but you have the fortitude as well to deal with situations where there is disorder. So you are very good in emergencies, most of you. You're very level-headed, and you don't let the chaos of the situation sweep you away. So in this situation, though, I just feel that in the past as well, your life is very structured and is very controlled, and it might put a damper on your ability to fully embrace change and enjoy your life. So I just feel for the month of February, this is specifically a love reading, so it's going to require you to basically get out of your comfort zone and do things and meet people, or agree to date other people that are usually not your type, not your normal type. And it's also, dating for fun as well will do you a lot more good, rather than going in with an agenda to get into long-term relationships, or like thinking long term and rushing into relationships trying to find that perfect person. Like, you either want that perfect person or not at all. But this is just telling you that it might be actually more beneficial for you right now to get out and do things a little differently than what you've been doing in the past. So this is the first card that I have for you. Okay, so switch things up a little bit this month in terms of romance. So that's the first card. What's crossing you is this Eight of Cups. And this is a situation in which you've invested a lot of time and effort and energy and emotions as well. The cups deal with emotion, into a relationship, into a partner, for those of you who are partnered. And at this point, you are contemplating whether or not to basically walk away from the situation. And I feel with the Hierophant, a lot of you might have been in a marriage situation, or a lot of you are currently in a marriage situation where you've invested a lot into it and you're contemplating whether or not to walk away. Those of you who are single, this is more like a lifestyle and a mentality change, where you've been doing things this way for the past, 8 years, 8 months, and you're assessing whether or not, this is working out for you. So it's still, it's a crossing energy. So it's not like it hasn't been decided yet, but it is a situation in which you're assessing. You're assessing whether to embrace this new method of dating, or whether, to stick with the tried and true. And I feel that the tried and true has not worked out for you in the past just because it's in reverse. So this is actually a very revolutionary month for you in terms of, you're finding new ways to approach romance and love and dating and marriage. So this is quite interesting. Coming in for a lot of Capricorns. So this card right here is representative of your past. This is what you've left behind. So this again is deliberation. This is, taking a really long time to assess a situation before you jump in. This is also a card of balance, of weighing the pros and cons. And this is just like a mentality regarding love and relationship that you adapted to, or that you've adopted in your past relationships, in your past romantic endeavors. So this month, just with that in the past and the Hierophant coming up in reverse, I just feel that a lot of you will be breaking away from this, over and analyzing and just, being so deliberate with all your decisions regarding love partners and, just regarding relationships in general, which is a great thing to do. And, just keep in mind that we can always go back to it, we can always do that. And for those of you too who have recently left a partner behind, I feel that in the past, this was a very hard choice for you to do. You were at an impasse, and you didn't walk away with ease. It was a very difficult choice. So even this with the Hierophant reverse, I just feel that this energy in general, there might have been a lot of, I guess, separations, divorces, and, split ups of long-term relationships in which you've invested like 8 years in. So that's a very interesting type of energy coming in. So this is what I have here for, the immediate outcome, what's coming into play in the near future. This is not the outcome, okay? This is just what's coming into play. All right, very good card. You have the Nine of Pentacles, which is taking time for leisure, taking time to date lightly, or approaching relationships in a more playful term, in a more leisurely term. So basically embracing relationships. And for those who are, in relationships, this is injecting more fun, more optimism, and more like liveliness into your relationships. And for those who are single, this is, can also denote like casual dating, getting out there and just seeing what the market is like. So this is actually very good. And I just feel that in the process of it, if you're single and you're going out dating again, this is a very prosperous card in that, you have this air about you of, I guess it's sort of like elegance, aloofness, and a mixture of, that you've got it together. So this makes you very, very attractive to the opposite sex when you're not trying so hard. This is incredibly an abundant energy. So get out there and date, okay? So this is just the crowning energy as well, but in this context, it's just more, your hope and aspirations in the process of adopting this behavior, what you're hoping to achieve. So, okay, this is interesting. This is the Eight of Wands in reverse. So when it comes to, with the Eight of Wands in the upright position, it denotes more fast, rapid communication. So there's this dichotomy here between, casual dating and also your communication style. So I just feel in general that you're still putting on this air that, you're carefree and things, but you're still very deliberate in the way you, the things you talk about with potential love interests, or, your mind is still very serious, and you're still learning the craft of, I guess, mingling and doing all of those things. So this is actually very great energy because you're still being very true to your Capricornian self, which is great because you're still very deliberate and you still filter out the riffraff to arrive at, true communication. This is very great energy. So you're still, you're getting out there and you're trying to mingle and you're trying to expand your circle and your social circle. And, for those that are single, you're still hoping to meet a lot of people, but in the process, you still want true and deliberate conversation. You still want a very solid connection. So this is still being true to yourself. This is great energy, actually. Okay, so this card right here is basically your subconscious. So these are things that you should be aware of that you might not be in right now, okay, based on this situation. So this is the card of moving on. This is the Six of Swords. And in the reverse position like this, I just feel that, this new lifestyle change, this new approach to relating to others and going out and mingling and expanding your social circle and being a little more casual about dating and just, doing things differently. It's going to take some time to pay off. It's going to take some time for you to start feeling authentic, is what I'm trying to say. So it's still going to take some time. And then after you get yourself to in this situation where you can basically, you know, date casually, I just feel that there are still a lot of I guess also baggage and old ways of behaving and, you know, old ways of relating in that you're not letting go of, which can be good or bad depending on, you know, if the ways of relating are unhealthy. But overall, what I'm seeing is this is all about authenticity, in that you know the structure of the relationships, like you know that what you don't want anymore, you're trying to leave that behind and you're trying to do something else, okay? But in the process, you still want authenticity in communication, in the way the relationships that you have with other people. So you still want that deep connection regardless of whether or not you're going out dating for fun. So you are still representing your true self. So this is really actually very great energy. So this is, you know, being authentic to yourself, being authentic to your value, even though you're actually still getting out there and having a healthy social dating, vibrant, you know, dating and social life. So good energy here. All right, so the next one, this is the overall advice for how to move forward with your new endeavor and, you know, incorporating all these cards. What is the universe trying to tell you? This is just the advice, okay? The advice is the King of Pentacles. So in the process of mingling, okay, just make sure that you meet people who are basically true and honest. You know, for those of you who are single, who are on the market, and you're mingling with others, and if you are very well off, make sure you kind of downplay it so that you attract the right people. So in a casual dating environment, in the process of expanding your social circle as well, you want to attract the right people, okay? So for example, you don't want to attract this King of Pentacles who is male or female. He can be very just opportunistic. All right, so just make sure that your assets are great. I mean, you're very prosperous. You're very well received, but just make sure you screen them out well too. Okay, so ask the important questions is what this card is saying. So this is just, you know, in the upright position is the quantity, the sheer quantity of communication. In the reverse position, in this context, I would say, you know, minimize it to important questions, which is, like I said, you're still being true to yourself. You're still trying to extract information and, you know, regarding things that matter. So that's actually very good. So don't weed them out, you know, don't attract the wrong people. That's not the outcome though. And this here is the external environment. Okay, so in the process, I know this is basically a blessing and a curse. In the process of going through this kind of like social expansion, I guess, social expansion, it's reverberated here, you know, attract the right people, okay? In the external environment, this could be, you know, just gossip in general. And I just feel, you know, for female Capricorns, this is a lot of jealousy coming from the same sex. And then in terms of male Capricorns, this is an energy in which you are well received and you are talked about, you know, for good or for bad, but you are well received by the opposite sex. Therefore, you are talked about. Whereas like for female Capricorns, you are just vibrant and radiant, and you're getting the envy of the same sex, and there, you know, there's just gossip. So be careful of that, and, you know, just weed out the right, the wrong people for you. And for those of you who have recently split up, you know, in your midst, you might have mutual friends, and this is just mindless bantering regarding you and that ex-spouse, for example. So people will always do that, you know, for good or for bad. Just let it slide off you. They can't hurt you. I mean, you're reaching a period of great abundance, so who cares what they say, all right? So hang in there. Okay, so this is your hopes and fears here. And this is the Emperor. And with the Emperor, the Emperor is in the reverse position is somebody who is I guess tyrannical, someone who likes to be in control, someone who likes to take charge. And also in this environment as well, you are going to encounter these negative people, and you just you just want to cut them down. But the point is not to do that, because you're in this period of expansion, and you're going to encounter all types of people, good or bad, everywhere you go. So in love relationships too, just don't try not to get involved with these people, okay? And then try not to misrepresent yourself as well with the Emperor, okay? Like a very just emperor is very deliberate, and he's very in control. So don't let this mindless gossip, mindless envy, and just banter get the best of you. All right, this is just the normal process of expanding your social circle. You might come into contact with people who are very different from you, or there would just be a lot of potential love interests who are vying for your attention, and they're going about it in using very underhanded methods. So just be wary of that, and don't lose your cool. Don't lose your cool, because Capricorns are extremely in control, and that makes you very attractive. So don't lose control. You have abundance here, and you have the ability to attract. So don't lose your temper. Be in control. Be the Emperor. Okay, so this is your outcome here for this month. All right, so for those of you who are still, who have not moved on, who are still deliberating whether or not to stay in that marriage or stay in that relationship, I feel that, February will probably be the decision-making point. And this is a situation in which you have to, the Three of Pentacles, you have to collaborate with others, and you have to reach a compromise. And at this point, I just feel that, you're done compromising, and you're actually going to do this and walk away from that relationship. For those of you who are single and, getting out there and dating, I just feel that you're going to come into contact with a lot of people. This is just very good, because you're magnetic and people are very drawn to you. You're going to come into contact with a lot of people, and you're going to quickly realize that it's very important for you to stand your ground still. That then it's very important for you to revert back to your old behavior, just because people are not willing to meet you halfway. They're not willing to collaborate, and they're also not as receptive, I guess, to compromises in relationships. And as well, for those of you, who are just re-entering the dating market, you feel, in this situation, you might feel a little awkward and out of place, okay? You just might, number 3 is not a card in general of balance, but it is building the foundation and learning a new craft. So in the process of meeting people and mingling, you're going to feel like a little out of place, and you feel like you have to go back to the drawing board and, learn the craft of mingling, and like learning the etiquette of dating and things like that. So for single Capricorns in general, the dating scene looks amazing. You're going to be very well received. You're going to have so much abundance. There are going to be people talking, you're very well received, and people will be there to basically talk about you, to assess you. So this is very good energy. Be sure not to lose your cool, okay? And also, since the people are showing up in reverse here, this is actually not a good month to get into relationships. You can have lighthearted relationships, but I feel ultimately you're going to want authenticity. You're going to want authenticity, even if it's just like a social situation, so, which is great. So I feel that the energy here, in the process of doing all of this and meeting all these people, and, meeting all these non-upright people, you're going to realize that authenticity and what you've been doing in the past has worked for you, and it's the method that you prefer, because it's try and true. So like, you're going to go back to this Hierophant in the upright position just because it's been done in the past, and you find comfort in it, okay? That doesn't mean you don't want to change. The option is still there, and you're very versatile, so you'll be fine. I just want to also say that for those of you who are thinking about, you know, returning to an ex or trying to work things out with an ex, if it is an earth sign and an Aries, I think it's best if you let those people go, okay? There's a lot of like negative energy circling around them, and they might have like another person on the side as well. So for those of you thinking about, you know, rekindling things with an ex or in the process of social dating, you know, you're encountering like an Aries and an earth sign, just be very skeptical. You know, I have faith that you know how to ask the right questions, so I'm not worried about that. But just be very careful, okay? They bring a lot of drama with them. It is not even worth it. It is not worth your peace of mind. And I feel very strongly they're going to be, you know, definitely this is a love reading, so it's going to be romantic interest or like, you know, romantic potential. But use your radar. They bring with them a lot of baggage, a lot of drama, and you just don't want that in your life, okay? So male or female. Avoid the Aries and the earth signs.